Okay, we have all been there. You know that nagging feeling, that thing you know you should be doing, but you just can't make yourself start? Well, today we are talking about procrastination, but probably not in the way you're used to. We're going to explore a pretty radical idea. What if beating procrastination has almost nothing to do with willpower and everything to do with something else? You know the drill, right? You give yourself the big speech. All right, for real this time, I am going to tackle that project. And then somehow you blink and an hour has passed and you've just organized your sack drawer or fallen into a social media rabbit hole. It is so frustrating. But what if I told you that entire cycle isn't really your fault? And this is where the whole game changes. We've been taught to think about procrastination as a personal failure, right? A lack of discipline, a character flaw. But what if we've been looking at it completely backwards? What if the problem isn't the person, but the plan? It's not a character flaw, it's a design flaw. And that's the whole idea behind architecture over willpower. Let me put it this way. If you're trying to eat healthier, but your fridge and pantry are just packed with junk food, you're making it incredibly hard on yourself. Every single day becomes a battle. It's not that you lack willpower, it's that your environment, your kitchen's architecture, is designed for you to fail. The very same thing is true for getting work done. It's not an effort problem, it's an architecture problem. Here's a great analogy. Think of your productivity like water flowing through pipes. Procrastination is like a massive clog. You can try to force more water through, that's willpower, pushing and straining, but you'll just get a trickle. It's exhausting. The smart move isn't to push harder, it's to fix the pipes. You have to clear the clogs so the water can flow freely. So what do we actually mean by architecture? It's really just a fancy word for the systems and the environment you create for yourself. It's all about intentionally designing your world so that the good habits, the things you want to do, are super easy, maybe even unavoidable, and the bad habits, well, you want to make those as difficult as possible. It's about creating a path of least resistance that leads you right where you want to go. Okay, so how do we actually start building this new and improved architecture? Well, our first tool is all about lowering your activation energy. And yeah, this is a concept straight out of chemistry, but trust me, it applies perfectly to our daily lives. You know that feeling when you think about a big, tough task and you just, feel that wave of resistance wash over you? That initial hurdle, that friction you feel just getting started? That is activation energy. And the higher that initial wall of effort is, the more likely you are to say, you know what, I'll just do it later. Now, the great news here is you don't have to change everything all at once. The key is to start ridiculously small. So first, you just pick one goal. Then you list out all the little annoying things, the friction that get in the way of starting. And then you just remove one, not all of them, just one. It's such a simple process, but it is so powerful. Let's make this concrete with a classic example. Going for morning run. We've all been there. You set the alarm, you have the best intentions, but then it goes off and your bed has never felt more amazing. So let's break down the activation energy for this seemingly simple act. So look at the high energy setup on the left. In the morning, you've got to find your clothes, hunt for your shoes, untangle your headphones. Your brain sees all those little steps and just says, nope, too much work, back to bed. But now look at the right. Your clothes are already laid out, your shoes are by the door, your headphones are charged and ready. You've removed all the friction. Suddenly, it's actually harder to not go for a run. You've made success the easy choice. All right, so we've covered making good things easier to start. Now let's talk about a way to make bad habits and tough decisions just disappear. This is where our second tool comes in. We're going to draw some bright lines. These are absolute, non-negotiable rules that take willpower completely out of the equation. So what is a bright line? It's a crystal clear, super simple rule you set for yourself that you just don't break. Ever. The magic here is that it completely eliminates that moment of debate. You don't have to waste a single ounce of mental energy wondering, should I or shouldn't I? The decision is already made. You just execute. So, what do these look like in real life? Well, a bright line could be as simple as no email before my first big task of the day is done. It's a rule, not a suggestion. Or how about this one? Phone on airplane mode from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. That creates a protected bubble for you to disconnect. A creative one might be write 100 words a day, no exceptions. It doesn't matter if they're good words, it just matters that you do it. Even walk for 15 minutes during lunch break, or no work notifications after 6 p.m. The point is you automate the good choices. So when you put it all together, what's the big idea here? It's time to stop trying to be your own motivational speaker, giving yourself pep talks that don't work.
It's time to become your own architect and start drawing up some blueprints for success. We're shifting from I need to try harder to I need to design smarter. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? A motivational speaker just yells at you to try harder. An architect actually redesigns the system to make harder unnecessary. It's about creating a system where you can succeed effortlessly instead of constantly fighting an uphill battle. It's the definition of working smarter, not harder.
And you know, the most empowering part of all of this is that it puts you firmly in control. You're not a victim of your own lazy brain anymore. You are the designer. You are the architect. You have the power to build an environment where doing the right thing, the productive thing, is the easiest and most natural choice you can make. So I'll leave you with this one simple question. Instead of vowing to have more willpower tomorrow, just look around at your system today. What is one tiny piece of friction you can remove right now to make something good just a little bit easier? Maybe it's putting your running shoes by the door. Maybe it's just plugging your phone in across the room. Whatever it is, that's your first blueprint. That's you starting to be your own architect.